All right. What's today's date? It's Friday, April 16th. That means tomorrow, somebody is taking the L, another one's taking the W. Or a tie, but that's unlikely. Jake Paul versus Ben Askren is about to go down. And I feel like I've been waiting for this fight forever now. I don't remember when it was announced, but I feel like I've been waiting for so long for this. I've actually learned a lot about Ben Askren since the time that I made the last video on him that actually did really well. And thank you guys for all the comments you guys sent and all the reception. I get that some of y'all were mad that I guess y'all felt like I was giving Jake too much credit, but hey man, I get it. A lot of y'all might find Jake Paul to be annoying. Sometimes I do too. But hey, we like to stay unbiased on this page, all right? Because his internet persona does not save him or affect his performance in the boxing ring. So we're gonna keep it neutral and we're gonna try and see who has the advantages on what side, you know what I'm saying? As far as my general opinions, they've generally changed, but not on Jake's side, but more so Ben Askren, because I know a lot more about his fighting ability now. One of you guys left a comment on my last Jake Paul Ben Askren video telling me that I should watch the Robbie Lawler fight. I don't know if I'm saying that name right, but Ben was tanking hits on hits. So one thing about my opinion that's changed is, will Jake Paul knock out Ben Askren? No, I don't think he will. Can he beat Ben Askren? Yeah, I think he could beat him. The thing is, I don't see a world where Jake Paul can be outboxed by Ben Askren. But I do see a world where Jake is out stamina'd by Ben Askren. I don't even know if that's a word. But you catch my drift. There's so much to unpack, and well, with that comes another press conference, so you know what? Let's check it out. Where's my phone? Oh, I'm using it to record.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a fight, right? It's not an event for me. If I was a fan or something, I might feel differently. But listen, I'm getting into a boxing ring, as funny as that sounds, and fighting on Saturday night. So I'm not kind of getting into all the hoopla and stuff. But I know the people who are. I have 10 guest passes, and they are all very excited for Justin Bieber and some of the other people.
Do you actually dislike Jake Paul?
I would say I'm more indifferent to Jake. I think there's a part of me that still thinks what he's doing is kind of an act, or a show he puts on. I'd say if
Pause. I know we just started, but let's not lie to ourselves right now, man. The Paul brothers are masters of marketing. Okay, they might bark a lot, but I feel like to an extent they can back up what they say.
Who he acts like is his real person, then yeah, he's probably kind of a shit person. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's just an act. And I'm carrying the fucking promotion of this fight. Jake ain't promoting shit. You go look at the fight on TV. Jake's got 50,000 views and I got 1.2 million. Triller, maybe they can send me a $2 million bonus afterwards. The promotion of this fight is squarely on my shoulders. Jake's not doing his job.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really.
Is Jake there right now? It doesn't feel like he is because
boxer than myself.
He's not interrupting Ben.
As well. I would love to fight Conor McGregor in mixed martial arts, but again, I'm going to be retired. I think most fans are more invested in the result of this bout than I am. I mean, for me, I think actually the biggest negative comes from winning, because if I beat Jake Paul's ass, I'm going to be like world famous, and I ain't really trying to be world famous. Like I said, I'm trying to coach wrestling and podcast.
Pause. You just said he does no promotion for the fight, then turn around and say that, well, I'm the biggest star in the world if I beat this guy. That doesn't add up. Then I don't know who I want to win this fight, because I don't really keep up with these two personally at all. Again, my interest is Floyd and Logan, and I heard that should be happening in May-ish, so We'll see.
I can't stand it when so I'm 36. Say athletes in their late 30s say this is the best I've ever been. I'm like bullshit. Like give me 24-year-old myself back again. I'd love to have that. But I am injury free and I feel great. So I'm ready to fight on Saturday night. I don't want to be famous. Yeah, my audience is growing like crazy. I think it all points to, and I don't want to be famous, but it points to the fact that there's so many not authentic people in the world. And when someone's just real with them, when someone just really says how he feels from the bottom of his heart, people appreciate that. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing that's coming through is, people thought maybe it was bravado or something. No, I'm just being me. And I've been me for the last 20 years. And we don't see a lot of real people in the world, and the authenticity people appreciate.
Are you playing everyone with the sparring footage going into this so that you could stun everyone?
Oh my gosh, let's talk about it. That sparring footage, man. Them first bits, they were not it, all right? If you're not subscribed to the Wade Concept on YouTube, you can check him out. But I saw the sparring footage for myself, and the first few, they weren't looking too hot. Let's be real. The first few, they were not, no. And then this last one that they just dropped on us, I'm like, whoa. Were you fooling us, my guy? That's not cool. Hey! Do I think it's enough to defeat Jake? No. No. I'm just going to be real now. But it's impressive. Much more impressive than what we've seen so far. Props to Ben.
Open workouts yesterday, because that's what I'm reading on social media. People are amazed at how good you looked yesterday.
I had faith in myself that if I put my mind to it for 11 weeks, it's going to get a lot better. And it got a lot better. And then you combine that with the fact that I've never actually focused on boxing, and I'm a quick learner, and I tend to be good at those type of things when I put my mind to it. Yeah, obviously for what you're looking at, you got a lot better product in week 11 than you did in week 1.
Facts.
I cannot figure out, I always try to think of what is someone's angle on this. I can't figure out what his angle is. I don't know. I mean, yeah, if he wants to wrestle, we can wrestle. I mean, I can go wrestle really, really high level people still and be very, very competitive.
This is a boxing
if not
match.
Beat them.
We're not talking about wrestling.
The notion that I couldn't pin a bad high school. I mean, let's just put it. He wasn't even good at high school wrestling. The notion that I couldn't pin him in 20 seconds is hilarious. For the proof that he realizes he doesn't have a future in boxing, because if your goal was to be a great boxer, you're not going to take a couple months off to wrestle somebody. And I just think back to my time, and I'm a world-class athlete, and he's Jake Paul. I remember my time in 2010, I tried to both wrestle and do mixed martial arts.
So is Jake really going in as the underdog?
And it sucked, and I was not optimal in either one because I was splitting my time. So my whole premise is I understand that I suck at this, but I understand I'm a world-class athlete, and despite the fact that I don't look like it, right? Sometimes can't judge a book by the cover, and that I'm a world-class learner. I understand how to learn things really well, and give me 11 weeks at trying this, and I'm going to be way better, and that's what you guys saw yesterday. Frankly, it's been a bloodbath if we're talking.
That's awesome. That's one thing I can give credit on Ben for, or not one thing, but several things. He is great at learning things quickly, as we've seen with yesterday's footage. And another thing is he said this on Impulsive Podcast, he has his own way of doing things, and he can do it well. There's nothing normal about the way he strikes, the way he lands his blows, anything. But he still gets it done. And that's something I will always infinitely respect him for.
This guy has, he only picks the lowest hanging fruit because his audience average age is 13 and a half. And, like the lowest hanging fruit
every
isn't
other
going
day,
to work
bro.
against me. You're going to have to come with something creative or something intelligent. He just has lacked the ability to do so. I think I'm borderline autistic, actually, and I have very specified interests, and I can't stand talking to people about things that don't really matter to me. And I know it's really bad. My wife.
You mentioned this in Impulsive, I think.
She probably should, right?
I
It's
remember
fair.
something like that.
And so when people want to come up and talk to me about stuff, it's just like, I don't want to talk. I want to think about what I want to think about, or I want to go coach wrestling. I want to do what I want to do. And I don't want to talk to strangers. I know I sound like a total asshole when I say that, but I'm telling you my feelings. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to go to the restaurant and sit down and eat and not have anyone come take a picture and listen. So, I know I sound like an asshole, but I'm telling you my feelings. And that's how
Just
it
said
is.
that.
Okay, good. Listen, I fully intend to box on Saturday night, but Jake Paul is telling lies when he says my purse will be deducted for me doing a non-boxing move. That's just not true. He made it up, and I would just appreciate all you guys write that
you
he's
really
telling
say that?
lies. Peace.
Is there still a potential fight between you and Logan Paul? I know you teased that a couple of times.
It depends what day you ask us, right? I think
Y'all
a lot
get
of
mad
people
at
want to
each other?
see that. I think it would be massive, but at the end of the day, our parents don't want us to do it. And I don't know if I would even want to do it. Sometimes we're mad at each other and we want to punch each other. And other times, like right now, we're perfectly getting along and supporting each other and everything.
His nose
The
doesn't
world,
look like it's
may
going
never
straight
see
down.
Jake Paul versus Logan Paul, but hey, you never know. Yeah, for sure. I use it all as gasoline in the gas tank to work harder every single day. And I know that going into this fight. And I know that for the past 3 fights I've had is everyone wants to see Jake Paul lose. And that's why I work so hard every single day and surround myself with the best team and take this so seriously because this fight means everything. You know, losing is not an option, quite literally. It just isn't an option in my head, and it's not it's not gonna happen. I'm excited for Dana White to lose a million.
See, that's one thing. I feel like Jake has a better mentality going into this fight than Ben does. I mean, it's understandably so because I feel like Jake has more of something to prove here than Ben does, obviously. He's clearly said he's about to retire, Ben did. And Jake's new on the boxing scene, relatively. And, you know, he wants to prove to the world that everyone who wants to see him knocked out, you know, he wants to prove that he's that fighter. He's that guy that will put some of these dudes in their place. And can he do that? I don't know personally. I kind of think he has potential. Do I think he's a top tier boxer? No. Who knows? He's working hard every day, as he says, and who knows? He might just pull it off. Will he beat Ben Askren? I can't give you a solid answer, man. I tend to fluctuate. Ben's track record shows that he could definitely survive a ring with Jake of all people. Jake's track record, he doesn't really have much of one, but based off of his 3 fights, he's got some spark to him. So will the spark overtake the experience or no? That's all that this is.
You know, I'm gonna prove millions and
Bruh,
millions
Jake's
and millions
nose
and
is
millions
not
of
even.
people
You
wrong.
can't prove me wrong. Am I blind?
And they have, like you
it
said,
just doesn't
motivated
look-
me to become the best version of myself over the past couple of years.
I don't know.
I see myself as an elite fighter right now, a young prospect with a lot of motivation, a lot of hunger, and I think people see me as a shitty amateur. So
I don't see you
there's
as
a sort
crappy
of a big
amateur.
difference, and there's a big gap in between where I'm actually at and what the general audience will think. But I'm excited again to show my ability on Saturday against Ben, who is a world-class fighter.
I'm going to reference Impulsive one more time. And it's something that Mike says. If Jake wins this fight, there's no more excuses. There's no more excuses, man. He's a fighter. Excluding Deji, we got Gib, we got Nate. And, you know, you can argue that you could tell Nate's never been punched before that fight. And then we'll have Ben Askren. If Jake wins this, like, you have to give him credibility, bro. It's already arguable if you're not giving it to him already. But, you know, if he wins this fight tomorrow, come on, man. You're going to start to look like a hater. You're going to start, come on, bro.
He's used to fighting guys his same height. Masvidal, you know, I've been training with Masvidal a bit, and it's like I'm towering over Masvidal. That's the type of guys that Ben is used to fighting, and people always say when they meet me, they're like, "Damn, you're big. You're bigger than I thought." All the time, and so that'll play a huge factor. And he won't be
I
able
don't
to get
think it's
close
as
to me.
huge
He
as
won't be able
thinks
to
he is, but-
do all the
or
things that
as he
he's
thinks he
planning on
is.
doing. He's talking about coming in with defense and pressure. That pressure and him coming forward is going to get him knocked out. Honestly, haven't. I think I bring up Floyd, but Floyd's 50-0, and people still will debate why he shouldn't be 50-0, and the judges and and he shouldn't have won this fight, and he shouldn't have won that fight, and he picked the easy fight here. So people are always going to have excuses as part of this game. But again, that's why they're going to tune into the next pay-per-view after
That's
I
fair.
watch Ben to see me lose or try to see me lose. It doesn't really matter to me at all. And yes, Ben is the first professional fighter I've faced in a real fight, but I've sparred against 250 guys in the gym who are a lot better than Ben. This is such a fun sport. This is such a fun time.
Anyone who can confidently say that, maybe, or especially when, like later on down the line when they're like 10 fights in, you know they're going places. And Jake's not there yet, but who knows?
These events are so cool, and I want to bring more eyeballs just in general. He wants another boxing fight. He wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. He would get toasted. He just keeps on taking L's. So I think fighting Jake Paul would probably be easier than fighting Manny Pacquiao, and it would be just as big. And I think we're a lot closer to a Jake Paul Conor McGregor fight than anyone thinks. I think it could happen in the next 24 months. Ben Askren had his dick in his hand in Wisconsin, not doing shit. I brought him out of retirement, revived his career, and so I think it's hilarious that he thinks that.
What?
He's under these bright lights in front of all of you because of me. I could have picked anybody to be in Ben Askren's position, and everyone that I fight becomes a global superstar for 15 minutes.
What?
Then I knock them out and no one ever talks about them again. I'm getting a lot better. I'm getting the better of a lot of these MMA guys. And
I don't know.
it's funny to just see
Based
what
off
they
that
say
last
after
press
this conversation.
conference, I beg to differ.
I'm showing up every single day. I'm putting my mental health on the line. My brain is on the line. I like you said, I've gone and gotten brain scans and have early signs of CTE. But I love this sport, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. And I'm a fighter, and people will see that, whether it's after Saturday night or whether it's a year from now, that they will see that I'm a fighter.
Wow. Well, tomorrow it happens. I don't know if this video will be posted on the same day, but final thoughts. I really don't know what to tell you guys, man. I don't. And it doesn't help that I'm pretty indecisive in general. So I can't tell you. I can't tell you Jake has a 100% chance of winning, because then I'd be lying to myself. I can't tell you Ben Askren has a 100% chance of winning. His chin is indestructible, but I will give you a percentage. My percentage is about 55 on Jake and 45 on Ben. Yeah, that's my final call. I can't make a decision past that. That doesn't mean I think Jake will win, but I think he has a slightly higher chance because this is not Ben Askren's home turf. All right? And on top of that, he just doesn't sound very sure of himself. Yes, he's a tank. He can tank hits on hits on hits. But I don't see him outboxing Jake, and I definitely don't see him knocking him out. That sparring footage was impressive, though. Please, let me know what you guys think. And this fight's gonna happen in less than 24 hours, unless it's happening late at night. So let me know in the comments who you think's gonna win, Ben Askren or Jake Paul. Also, one more thing. Just generally, I know this page isn't very big at all, but I want to give a big thank you to all of you guys that leave the really nice comments that you do, because it's like I'm just starting, and it's like I can already feel the love, and it incentivizes me to keep pushing, because I feel like the start of the journey is always the hardest, because people don't know you. Okay, so I really do appreciate each and every last comment that I get that's really nice and positive, because You know, that's what I'm about on this page in the long run, okay? So, thank you. Thank you, seriously. As far as this reaction goes, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you when there's a victor.
Hey, baby, you looking for a date?
No thanks, gorgeous. I'm happily married now.